praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Mahakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim and Aqua, faithfully following this word and truth, pushing the word, doing the works, rehearsing the righteous acts, and offering their bodies as a living sacrifice to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Mahakadash. I was going to talk about being weak and being strong. I think the Apostle Paul said in Corinthians, when I am weak, I am strong. Let's see, weak, strong. Elder was talking about this before as well. 2 Corinthians 12 and 10. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities, in persecutions and distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. This means when I'm weak, when you're weak, you can't rely on the flesh, man. You can't rely on your strength. You know, you have to rely on something other than that. You have to be like, take the wheel, you know, Lord. You know, like you have to hope for things greater than that are not seen. As is the definition of faith. You know, we have to. The spirit warreth against the flesh, man. Let's see, spirit and flesh. Let's get some scriptures like that. Oh, there we go. Philippians 3:3 it's a different scripture. For we are the circumcision which worship God in the spirit and rejoice in Yahweh Shai, and have no confidence in the flesh. So being in the spirit, man, it means that you don't rely on it. You're not relying on the flesh, man. You're relying on the spirit. You don't have any confidence. You know that the flesh corrupts. You know. Let's see what else there. You know, and relying on the spirit. You know, is what will keep us strong. You know. Galatians, then I say this, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And this goes back into Ephesians, the feet shod in the gospel of peace, you know, walking in the spirit. It's the, you know, understanding the way in which your direction is, what you have faith in, is not based on carnal, the things that you can see. You walk in the spirit in the same way, meaning having the feet shod in the gospel of peace. You know, meaning that you don't, your feet, your reliance isn't on worldly things, man. The feet shod in the gospel of peace means you are actually looking at the gospel and the story and the good news, which is that the good news is, it can be summed up in the three names, man, which is that there is one, there is the Lord above all, the Most High, who judges all, Yahweh. You know, and there's a way to reach him. You can be redeemed through his son, Yahweh Shai, you know, and then there's a way to commune with them from where you are to reach them. So there's, first of all, the first news is that God is, you know, God exists. You ain't in this world where evil is all about you and they just gonna get away with it. That's the first news. But you still, even if you were in that situation, yeah, you know that God exists, but you know you're separated from him through the curses. So big deal, right? But then that's the second news. Yet there's Yahweh Shai. You know, there is one also who's going to reunite you, or who's pleaded your case with Yahweh, such that you can be reunited. So there is one that has uh, advocated for you, if you like, who has bled for you, who has died for you, whose job was to marry you again to Yahweh. You know? And in some ways, I don't want to speak out of turn, but in some ways, Yahweh Shai, he's described as the groom, but also I kind of see him as the best man. He gives away, he takes the bride, which is Israel, and brings him to the Father. That's the second piece of good news that there is. The third piece of good news is that, okay, there's a guy there's, Yahweh Shai, who's advocating, who's for us, who's making things right. But how do we reach him? Well, you reach him through the Ruach HaKodesh. There's a spirit. So even that can bridge realms. The spirit can go from the spiritual realm to the physical where we exist. So there's a way to reach Yahweh Shai and thereby be brought to the Father. So the three names are the gospel, and the three names are also spiritual, in the sense that, they're not, although Yahweh Shai did walk on the earth as a man, at the moment he's a spirit, and it's in the spiritual realm, and well, as much as I know who's in the spiritual realm, but this all requires faith, man. We have to believe in things that are greater than what we can see, that we can hope for. Or we need to hope in things that are greater than what we can see, rather. So that's the gospel of peace, the gospel, the three names that make up the essence of the gospel are based in faith. And when it says in Ephesians, you walk with your feet shod in the gospel of peace, it means have that you rely on your faith to lead you. Rely on the word of Yahweh to lead you, for your reliance on where you will lean and where you will not lean. And that's as much as I can try and break that down. Faith being things hoped for, not seen. I'm going to get that scripture and then I'm probably going to close out because I'm feeling incoherent because I'm so tired. Faith, hope for, evidence of things not seen, right? Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So faith is the evidence of things not seen. That's amazing. Actually, that's the first time I've read that. I've read this 1,000 times, and this is the thousandth of one time I've read it, and some of it's popped out at me. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. So when you see faith, you know that there are things not seen. It's the evidence. It shows that there are things that are not seen. Just as like a flag flapping in the wind will show that that the wind exists, even though you can't see the wind. You know that when you see a flag flapping, you know that there's evidence of that there's wind, right? The wind exists. Same with faith. It's evidence of things not seen. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I feel like I'm rambling. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalom.